I'm Tom Johnson, Thomas Johnson Antique Furniture Restoration in Gorham, Maine. This is a really nice chair. It's a Queen Anne style chair. It's a reproduction, but it was very badly damaged in a move. This leg was completely broken off. Now, I've got a lot of really good clean glue surface here. I think it'll glue back really well if I can clamp it. That's the real issue here. So my first thought as I look at this is maybe I should remove this piece, the top of the leg, or the back of the leg here, but I still have the same problem with clamping. In fact, even more difficulty with clamping this. I think I'm going to pull back this cambric from underneath and see what I've got behind here to clamp to. Now I've got some room in here where I can places I can possibly put a clamp on. Alright, now I'm thinking that maybe I should make a block that will fit right here where I can get clamping pressure straight across. I want the pressure to be perpendicular to this brake. I've got a few clamping points here I think I can use. So I've got a cutoff from a 2x4 here that I think might work well. If I can cut this out and shape it to fit around this knee, might just be able to clamp it. It's not bad. I need to angle this cut in there. Okay, that's not bad. I need to take some off of these corners here. Alright, not bad. I think I'll take it to the sander and take a little bit more off here. Maybe change that angle a little bit. Alright, I think I've got as good a fit as I'm going to get. I've got quite a few contact points there. I'm not sure it's perpendicular to the brake. It's close. I think I need to take a little bit more off it here and here, and then I'm going to see what I got. Feels solid already. See if I can get a couple more clamps on it. Boy, this seems really good. It's really solid. It's kind of exceeded my expectations. Let's check for squareness. It's off by about a ½ inch. Now we don't know what it was originally, but I could try pulling this leg a little bit. Yeah, but if I pull this leg in with a clamp, I can see it's opening up my joint up here. Okay, even though these legs may measure out of square, we don't even know if they were ever square, number one. But they look really good to me, just looking at them, using my own judgment. I'm not going to worry about that measurement. It's not worth pulling this in and possibly messing up my good glue joint there. Now I've got a lot of really good, clean glue surface here, and also I feel like I've got good clamping pressure, so I feel like the best glue to use is regular yellow carpenter's glue. Yeah, I think it looks good. The legs look nice and square where they're supposed to be. Just going to leave it like that. Boy, it seems nice and strong. All right, now I got to move on to the issue of the broken arm. I realized once I glued this up I wouldn't be able to move it, so I thought I'd better get it off the table saw. Even though there's a big crack here, the arm seems amazingly strong. I have no idea how I was going to clamp this with this is so sculptural in here. But it seems that if I pull this at this area, it really comes together. Maybe I'll need to clamp it here. Boy, this joint has really come together well. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with this. Well, this seems really solid, so we'll find out tomorrow. Seems good and strong. And there's tape residue all over both these legs. We'll see if some paint thinner will take it off. There's a lot of dings and scrape marks. There's white paint all over the other arm, this arm. Looks like somebody tried to squeeze it through a doorway or something. Who knows? Now both of these repair areas I will sand really well. I did first with 100, then 150, and then I'm going to sand really well with 220. Before I start fooling around with stain, I'm going to sand this entire leg with 220, along with both arms and the other leg. I'm going to end up recoating them entirely. They're so scuffed up. And I'll sand them with this 220 gold. Then after the 220, I'll go over everything with a gray Scotch-Brite pad. Now I'll wipe off all the sanding residue with some paint thinner. Boy, the sanded area blends in really well, even just with the paint thinner. So now I'm going to take a little bit of medium brown walnut dye stain. I'm going to thin it out with some alcohol and try patting it on those repair areas. And actually, I've got an area under here I can experiment on. You can see as the stain flashes off, this looks lighter again, but that doesn't matter. It looked great when it was wet. I'll let this dry for about an hour. All right, I'm going to spray all these areas now with a coat of shellac. You'll notice that the stained areas, the areas where I sanded rather, and then stained, still look light, but that doesn't matter to me. They looked great when it was wet. I'll go with the shellac. If they need a little more color, I'll tone it in. All right, I'll let the shellac dry for an hour or two. It looks good. I have a little bit of toning and a little bit of touch-up work to do. My repair areas really soaked up the shellac. I'm going to hit just those areas with another coat. Yeah, that second coat really helped a lot. That sealed it up now. So I'm going to sand these repaired areas with some 500 gold. So there's just a little bit of putty I've got to touch up. I'm going to use the same dye stain that I used to stain the bare wood with, and it'll take fine over the shellac. And then I'm going to tone. I don't think I need to tone this one. I need to do a little bit of toner with medium brown walnut right there. The toner, these spray lacquers are acrylic lacquers, so when I say toner, this is acrylic lacquer, but it's got the medium brown walnut dye stain mixed in it. Alright, I let those touch-ups dry. I'm going to go over the entire chair now with a Scotch-Brite pad and then spray it with gloss lacquer. Well, this is dried overnight and it looks great. These areas I sanded need a lot more finish. I need to build up the finish just in these two areas until I can level it off and then put a final coat of satin on the entire chair. Alright, I've sprayed these areas with a few more coats to let it dry overnight. I'm going to sand these areas with some 500 paper that's very fine, but I definitely don't want to cut through. And then I'm going to go over everything with a Scotch-Brite pad and then give everything a coat of satin lacquer. Well, everything looks good. The back legs were not damaged in the move. I need to go over those with the 4-0 steel wool and the orange oil beeswax polish. And I'm just going to go over everything. It'll just make it extra smooth and extra nice. I'm just applying very light to medium, even pressure. These surfaces are fine. They don't need a lot. Alright, now I'm going to wash my hands really well. I don't want any oil on them, and I'm going to remove all the plastic and paper. Just a side note, I will be reusing this plastic bag and the plastic sheeting too. I try to use everything as many times as I can. So there you go, a really nice Queen Anne armchair. If you remember, in a cross-country move, it was pretty badly damaged. This leg was completely broken off. This leg was also cracked in here, although it didn't come detached. You know, working on this chair, I really came to appreciate the sculptural, beauty of this chair. There's not a straight line in it. I think it looks pretty good.